Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. So today's reminder is just going to be a hadith. And in this hadith, we learn a few things. But what is really important to keep in mind about these hadith is that these hadith, most of the hadith, were revealed and have specific context that go with them. So for example, people may ask, well, there were three different Muslims who went up to the Prophet ﷺ and asked what the best deed was, and he gave them different answers. Is this not a contradiction? And the answer is no. Because if you just look at the hadith, just by the words of the Prophet ﷺ, and you say, well, these people asked basically the same question and he gave them three different answers, you don't have the full picture. And this is what the job of the fuqaha are, those who have understanding of the deen, the scholars, and even the muhaddithin. So we're going to get into one of the questions one of the replies that the Prophet ﷺ gave to someone who asked that question. And so, Ibn Masood, one of the greatest scholars of the Sahaba, promised paradise. And one interesting information about him is that he actually had really, really thin legs. He wasn't big like Umar or Hamza, radiallahu anhuma, but he had very thin legs. He was very small, and people used to make fun of him for this. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would tell them that on the Day of Judgment, each one of his legs will be bigger than Mount Uhud. And anyone who lives here in Medina knows that Mount Uhud is massive. It's several kilometers wide. It's not as big as like the Rocky Mountains, like the range, but as a singular mountain, it's pretty big. So you can imagine it's going to be, mashallah, very big. But now getting into the hadith. عن ابن مسعود رضي الله تعالى عنه سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أي عمل أحب إلى الله؟ قال صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلاة على وقتها. قلت ثم أي؟ قال صلى الله عليه وسلم بر الوالدين. قلت ثم أي؟ قال صلى الله عليه وسلم الجهاد في سبيل الله. So on the authority of Ibn Masood radiallahu anh, he said, I asked the Prophet, said, what deed is most beloved to Allah? And the Prophet ﷺ gave him three different answers. The first of which he said, as-salah ala waqtiha, which means the prayer performed on its time, which obviously any time between Dhuhr and Asr, you can pray Dhuhr. Any time between Asr and Maghrib, except for the last 15 minutes, you can pray Asr. But what the scholars have said, and the Sahaba know about this, what this hadith means that when it comes in, pray it immediately. Don't delay it. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, okay, but don't be delaying your prayers right up until the time of the next prayer. And after that, Ibn Masood said, he said that I said, what is after that? The Prophet ﷺ replied with bir al-walidain, which is excellent righteousness to your parents. Instead of saying, what mama, what baba, gosh, what do you want? You say, labaik ummi, labaik abi, I'm at your service. May I help you, mom and dad? This is really important. And of the greatest of the kaba'ir, after shirk, there's different hadith mentioning a few different things. Besides khamr being al-khaba'ith, bir al-walidain, and the opposite of it, not treating your parents with honor and respect, and dishonoring and disrespecting your parents and treating them with harshness and cutting the ties of kinship. This is of the greatest sins. May Allah forgive us for anything that we've fallen into. And then lastly, that which the Prophet ﷺ said is the peak of this religion. And it's a lot of people sometimes translate it and say that it could mean any kind of struggling, whether it be going out and feeding people and doing something that's hard. But all the scholars have said that unanimously that in the hadith, whenever the words fi sabilillah are mentioned, that they specifically refer to fighting with oneself and one's wealth in the cause of Allah in the battlefield. And so Ibn Masood said, "Thumma ayyin?" What's after that? And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Al jihadu fi sabilillah." And so we learn that after salah on its time and being good to one's parents, that defending the religion and defending the oppressed and going out to struggle so that justice is served and oppression and tyranny of women, of children, of everything on the earth and everything that goes against La ilaha illallah, the worship of the one true God, is best, is one of the most beloved things to Allah, as we see in this hadith. And this is mutafaqun alayh. It's found in Bukhari and Muslim. So may Allah make us the best of those who listen to this advice and the best of advices, and that we implement it, and that we also go on to teach it. May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings, and may Allah prepare us for this Ramadan. May He allow us to live to see this Ramadan. And inshallah, I will be coming with some more hadith. Inshallah, try your best to memorize them. And until next time, assalamu alaikum. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله الذي لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.